Old Town College Park, a historic residential area adjacent to Route 1 and the University of Maryland, serves as home to permanent local residents as well as the tentative student renters. Where out-of-state license plates flood the streets, it is estimated that at least 3/4 of the homes are rented to students. And being conveniently just off campus, Old Town is the ideal location for parties and social gatherings of fraternities and sororities alike. It can readily be seen every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, students wandering aimlessly around the area with their concealed containers of alcoholic beverages and boxes of fast food that they pick up from the neighboring restaurants. But where does all this trash and recyclables go? Along College Avenue, there are few trash bins and only one recycling can provided for easy disposal. So I ask again, where does all this excess debris go? Countless amounts of crushed, empty containers scattered through the streets. Ideally, more trash cans and recycling bins should be placed along the sidewalks of the whole area, and an organized, volunteer-based cleanup crew should meet once weekly to help with this excess garbage. However, it isn't just enough to mindlessly clean up trash as a chore. A sense of community needs to be established. It is very difficult to get these temporary residents to care for the areas they only see it as a 4-year home, if that. Yet, there's only one very small community garden and green space located at the far corner of town. This is simply not enough. A few more community gardens should be established alongside a more central green space for all members of the area to share. Yet, that in itself is also not enough to just establish this space. It needs to be cared for, and that's the key. Informing and incorporating the younger, tentative renters in the new community gardens and green space with the more mature, permanent homeowners would help toward building the social capital that Old Town so desperately needs. By getting this mix of neighbors to gather and talk over the places that they share, it can work toward a newfound appreciation of the surrounding environment and develop a desire to preserve and maintain it for them during their time here and future tenants to come. Upon revision, the littering issue of the area is still pressing as street corners lack proper disposal. Placing more recycling bins and trash cans on empty street corners like these will create a convenient means of disposal for partygoers as they leave their respective houses. On top of this, working in collaboration with the Department of Fraternity Sorority Life at the University of Maryland to establish a volunteer-based group to meet weekly and clean up the excess debris will prove vital for not only environmental health, but social unity of the community. Now we will discuss these issues with a leader in the community, Alec Boyle.
How many of your members would you say currently live in the Old Town area?
Probably about 30-40%.
Would you agree that the streets of Old Town are flooded with litter?
Yeah, absolutely.
What type of litter do you see most often?
Mostly like beer cans, solo cups.
Coming from nearby parties in the area?
Presumably.
Now, if a group contacted your chapter about meeting weekly to go around Old Town area and help clean up, do you think your chapter would be willing?
Yeah, but only because DFSL kind of makes us do service hours, and that'd be like a really easy way that also benefits us. So,
Would you say it's beneficial just because it's easy, or because your members live in the area? It'd be like, oh, killing two birds with one stone.
It's more two birds with one stone, yeah.
Ah, right. Thank you for your time.
Of course.
Mr. Boyle is just one of many leaders in the Greek community acknowledging this litter issue. With his chapter's willingness to get involved in this proposed cleanup organization, we can initialize a community. Now for another pressing matter, the walkability of the Old Town area. Too many streets of Old Town do not have sidewalks for its residents. This makes for a dangerous trek and is very deterring for most students, many of which choose to drive alone in their cars to their destination instead of walk amongst other residents, thus creating a disconnect within the community as well as furthering our ecological footprint. New sidewalks safely away from traffic will allow for safe conditions of both parties and overall enhance the human interaction that Old Town so desperately lacks. To further this social aspect, we need to work in collaboration with the City Hall to establish a more centralized community park, much like this one. This new park will foster unity amongst the community as it would be a convenient outlet for outdoor activity and social interactions of its surrounding residents. And together, hand in hand, coexisting amongst each other, we can make Old Town last a lifetime.